Hello, Jean-Michel. Jai Shri Mataji, and hello, everybody, and Jai Shri Mataji to everybody who listened to us. And thank you for that. Thank you for your views, for your comments. A lot of views for Jean-Michel for last time. For the people who doesn't watch the last discussion with Jean-Michel, I have to tell you that we knew each other for 35 years. When he came with the so-called French invasion. It's a innocent joke. I hope you get the joke with the people the Sahajogis who come from French to help us. Few things about Jean-Michel, which maybe not too many people knows. I knew by that time that he was an architect, which is a fantastic job combining the science and art. It's one of the most complex job in the world. And if you like the job, you will never work a day in your life. So looks like Jean-Michel approve, and
Yes.
he looks like he didn't work a day in his life. So he looks so young. So that means he like his job. Um, just briefly, I make some notes, and forgive me that I read them. Jean-Michel get the realization in south of France in Montpellier, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong, in 1984.
85, 85.
Aha,
February 85.
85. So we have to modify what you write to me. So you try to look older in Sahaja Yoga. um, he married in 86 with Liane from Australia, moved in Australia in 97, and he was involved in very important job like an architect for Sahaja Yoga. I'm not talking about the other work he's done it in his career, but in Sahaja Yoga, he was involved with the renovation of the Kabbalah Castle, which is quite important. Um, After that, with the Paris ashram, also was involved with the extension of the Paris ashram. The Sydney, when he moved in Australia, the Sydney ashram also the extension and the renovation. Actually, only the renovation. Sorry, it's my fault. And guess what? Auckland ashram, which we didn't finalize, but he was here and obviously worked for free to help us giving us idea, because we want to extend it that ashram, but unfortunately the uh, finance doesn't agree with us, the books doesn't like what we wanted, so we have to squeeze the books to get in our way sometimes. But anyway, Jean-Michel was involved with that. He was coming here, but that's funny because we don't meet. I knew some architect come from Australia by that time, probably about 10 years ago. I was here 160K from Auckland, but we've been to Auckland
Ah,
only several times per year, so not coming exactly when he came. So I have no idea who's the architect who came from Australia to help us. One of the most important job um, Shimataji asked Jean-Michel to do was in 2007, when I tried to find the picture here, when she asked Jean-Michel to do the design for the extension of Dharamsala school. That's happened in 2007. Sorry for the quality of the picture. So it's me. He sent me good pictures, but I put them, I don't know how visible are. I hope are visible. So here in 2007, giving explanation to Shimataji about the
the design.
The work he's done. Sorry?
Yeah, yeah, about the design,
About the design.
how to. And Shemataji was, she's an architect, I can confirm, because she knew exactly what was shown. She asked the right questions. And it was really, really, really good discussion. And if you want me to talk about this another time, we can talk about this.
We will definitely we will talk about this. I want to manage to do the presentation. You told me little bits and pieces about this meeting, which again happens in Pratistan in 2007, and Shimataji was really talking, like you can see in the pictures, with Jean-Michel, and she put question according to what he told me. But we will talk another time. We will dedicate uh, more time to this meeting because it's important. One of the latest meeting Shimataji have with Sahaji with the Sahaji Yogi about some very practical things. So Jean-Michel was involved in weekly meditation in classes in a hall in Sydney where he live now. He contributed to weekly program for 15 years. You can imagine, so 15 years he have
Radio programs. Yeah.
radio programs. And also, he is part of the Music of Joy group, which we know very well. Again, I don't have the chance to see him in that group, or I wasn't there when he sing. It's quite amazing how the things was working because few of the Kiwi, New Zealand Sahaji Yogi belong with that group, although we are from Australia. So when they come here to sing, I wasn't there, and so on. When I was there, yeah. So last time when I saw them was in 2019 to Mahaganesha Puja at Uluru. So yeah, he also belonged to that group. He's multi talented singing as well. It's been give realization in tours with group of Sahajagi in Southeast Asia, which is one of Australia closest destination, and in China, in Japan, or around Australia. Also, he participated to the famous 21 days meditation, which many of us knows what is about. So that's Jean-Michel today. He was a bit shy last time when I asked him to speak a little bit about himself. Therefore, I took the opportunity to present Jean-Michel to you to know who's the guy. Therefore, we can go further. So, if last time we were talking a lot of stuff and we uh, talk more than an hour without touching the subject, the subject was um, the how should I put it? I want to say expedition, but it wasn't an expedition. Sounds like going in the jungle. Expedition in Romania. So, Jean-Michel and the people who watching us. Sorry to talk as much as
We can call it a Romanian tour.
Romanian tour. Yes, that's the best. So I promise that I will interrupt you less is possible. So now, please talk about your experience in Romania. But before before that, my last question, I promise, is what make you come to Romania? Tell us again about the relation between France and Romania. What Shimataji said, how you jump in the car, and all the stories. Please.
So the when we started Sahaja, we were a collective in south of France, and the reason why we were a collective is because as a new Sahaja Yogi, if not for the collective support, I don't think many of us would have survived the process of establishing ourselves in Sahaja Yoga. So we lived together, we meditated together, we spread Sahaja Yoga as we could, conducting programs and doing realization, organizing meetings, all of these things. And Srimataji always said to us, it is very important to share what you have got. And I found out for myself that whenever I had challenges in my life at that time, I remember very clearly that what uh, um, brought me into the Sahasrara and into the joy inside myself was when I was giving realization. Because human beings always have tendency to think, to talk, to argue, to discuss things. Unfortunately, the talking, the arguing, or the discussing, it is not taking us to our spirit. It is necessary in our life, but it doesn't take us to the insight that we want. But I found out that whenever I was doing a program like presenting Sahaja Yoga, giving vibrations to people, for the next 2 or 3 days, I was inside myself, in my Sahasrara. I felt the joy, I felt the purpose of my life with no effort. So this experience really was a very strong experience because that this is what has carried me all throughout my life. That's why when I said to you, I was involved in radio programs, in art exhibitions for Sahaja Yoga, in physical programs, in online programs, uh, uh, tours in Southeast Asia, because every time we do this, this is what takes us into being who we really are, which is the spirit. So when Shimadaji told us at that time, when the wall of Berlin was broken and the eastern countries of Europe opened up to the West, she said, so she went to Romania and gave some programs in Romania, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, and all these countries. And then she said to us, we need to go there and help for the follow-up programs to help new Sahaja to establish in Sahaja Yoga. So when we heard the news, at that time I had some time to, free time. I just bought a new car, uh, and when I heard this, I said, I can go. I can drive there. Who wants to come with me? So one person from the ashram, Marie, she decided to come with me. So we went on the way to I think it was in Alsace in northeast of France. We picked up three more yogis coming from Paris, and we just drove through Hungary and Austria to Romania. That's how we decided to go. It was a very spontaneous decision. That was the I just don't know, but it's like I was feeling the joy even before going there. I knew it was what I had to do.
Was the second car. Was the second car because Marie told me that she missed the first car. She was so upset that she missed the first car. And finally, she heard
But
about
but
the
but
second
not
car.
but the first car didn't leave from Montpellier. It would have
Yes.
left. I
No,
don't think
not from Montpellier, but was the first
from
first
Paris.
ever,
Yeah.
the first ever car. She want to go with the first ever car, but somehow she missed it
Ah.
because some people was obviously more quick than her. So she
Yeah,
was,
I know from Paris
yeah.
with Antonio and other people they left earlier for sure.
There are a little bit of talking here. So we have Antonio. No, we have the Swiss people who came in May. we have the French people, Antonio, who came in April. And I talk about that many times. I said now, just briefly, that Shimataji didn't know about the May program by the Swiss and told them, no, the French people should take care of Romanian. Yes. I don't know if uh, she said then that you should go there because Romania is the Shakti of France, but many French people told me that, but I don't know when she said that. She said to Antonio, and Antonio tell to the French people. They come here, have a program on the 25th of April, when I get my realization. There are few people who get the realization in May as well from the Swiss people, but we always consider the first program, which was backed by Shimataji in 25th of May. No one will take the realization from people who take it on May, but you know how it is. I was the first, no, I was the second. And after that, the next program was only in August by Antonio again. In the meantime, you came. Two,
Ah.
three cars which overlap each other, and that's the one of the best period in our Sahaj life, because was the transition of being by ourselves with Anka, and after that being with you, who came and stayed to the Anka apartments, and we go there. Anka moved. We let you stay there, and we come to this apartment as often as we can and have talking with you, have chatting, have walking around, going in the parks, and so on, including after that going to Sofia in Bulgaria, and after that to the public program of Antonio, 1st and 2nd of August, and after that to Kirlibaba. So that's the chain of events. We know them very well. So now we have to put people in those events and ask them what they remember and what was their feelings. So now you uh, tell us what you remember about the first meeting with Romanian when you come to Anka's place.
So the first impression that we got, at least I had got, mentioned last time in the other discussion, is that when we came, when we arrived in Romania, the countryside looked like a bit like Indian countryside, very peaceful. There were bullock carts, horses, horse carts. Um, Not many cars, actually. The road was not very good. It was, you know, it looked like a country. The highway to go to Bucharest looked like a country road, countryside road, and but we felt very good. We felt very peaceful. That's the first impression when we crossed the border. Then we arrived in Bucharest, and major city with large buildings, no advertising. There was no advertising anywhere, and it made me very peaceful to see a city where there was no advertising at all. Then a few times we went into the shops, and there was the minimum essential things in the shop. I remember that there was a electronics shop. There was one television on sale, only one model. You didn't have to choose amongst 50 different types of TV. There was only one. And so we were welcomed by you, by the Sahaja into Anka's apartment. which was really, really nice. We felt
That's a
at,
picture from, is not from your way to Romania, but it's a countryside landscape.
that's right. That's what we saw.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
we saw. And uh, so we felt our heart opened a lot. That's what I felt with Romanian people we met, especially Romanian Sahajogis, was a very genuine, open heart, joyful heart, very simple, just beautiful. For us, it was really good for me to discover that the eastern side of Europe, which we didn't know at all, had such beautiful people there. So that was a new awareness for us. It changed me. When I came back from Romania, I was a different person. So the other thing is that we were used to wear a badge of Shemataji wherever we were going. Like on India tour, we always had Shemataji's photo with us because mother told us, if you wear my photograph, people will ask you who is she, and then you can introduce Sahaja Yoga. So we were used to wear a badge of Shemataji. And walking in Bucharest, I remember people were stopping us all the time. They were asking, who is this lady? So Bucharest had many parks. That also something that was nice. You had buildings with no advertising and lots of parks, like small forests, kind of in the city. And so we were walking by, and people would ask us, "Who is this lady?" So I would just tell them, "Open your hands and see if you can feel something." And straight away, people would feel the cool. So what I was telling them is just if you have time, let's sit down because there were parks everywhere around. Let's sit down 5 minutes and I will explain to you. And then we would give them a realization like this. And this was going on every day, constantly, at the train station, walking in the street, in the shops. People was just completely open to knowing about Shimataji, knowing about yoga. That was magical because in the West, it was not the case. It was quite complicated in the sense that some people were used to argue with us at programs. They would come to, because they were curious, but then they would disagree with, we would present Sahaja again. They would disagree saying, no, 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 it's not like this, or why? And so in Romania, it didn't happen at all. People would feel the vibrations pretty much straight away, and then we can explain. So that was incredible. Yeah.
I was showing early a picture from Shimataji, from Anka's house, with a lot of Shimataji pictures. That was the atmosphere there. I don't have any picture with you inside of the house, but I knew you were there, and I remember many discussion with you when Anka wasn't there because she left the apartment. She go to some other place to stay, leaving the apartment for you, and we come again every time when we have a little bit of time to not to entertain you. We don't come to take care of you. We come because we were so curious and so keen to stay with people who knows more about Sahaj Yoga, to teach us, to let us uh, to help us. And we go in town a little bit, make some walking, but we go in the parks as well, and we have outside meditation with you and few other Romanians. So that was the atmosphere by that time.
It was very relaxing for us. It was a very beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Like This is the beauty in Sahaja Yoga. You meet Sahaja Yogis and they become your brothers, your sisters, your family. And that was what we felt. I felt very completely comfortable.
Yeah,
I could have stayed longer, but we had to go back to work.
I know. Okay, so after that you come with us. We make the trip to Bulgaria.
I didn't go to
You
Bulgaria.
didn't go to Bulgaria,
No, no, no.
but you've been to
I will,
August in when Antonio have the program at first and second.
I don't think I came when Antonio was there. When we were there, we went to Curly Baba in the mountain for the Havan.
Yes,
I don't think we did anything else outside Bucharest. Yeah,
that was the
we
only
went.
outside Bucharest you've been.
Yes, that's right. And that was that for me, that was the peak of the tour.
Yes,
That was incredible.
yes.
That was incredible.
I will share some pictures very soon. But in the meantime, um, we have to talk about these two subjects about Kirli Baba. One was the Havan, and the other one was the Raksha Bandhan, because was around Raksha Bandhan. Shimataji has been to America for Raksha Bandhan, and after that in Europe for Shri Krishna Puja. I have the dates, but was there about 8th of August, something like that. So was the Raksha Raki time. Do you remember our conversation about the Raki?
I don't remember.
Do you remember Anka's opposition to the Havan in the house?
No, I don't remember that discussion.
One of the reason we've been to Kirli Baba, obviously, Natalia, who owned the place, I mean, her
Yes,
parents owned
yes,
the place, invite us. But one of the reason we've been there is the fact that we cannot do Havan in Bucharest. Very, very difficult. A bit later, we find the place somewhere uh, out of so close to the edge of the town where I live, very close to the place where I live in an apartment. Some of you been to my place briefly, just a
yes.
short visit, I remember.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Uh,
behind the apartment blocks was a kind of park, not very well managed. And later that year, or next year, we start going to do Havans there. In the meantime, for a long period of time, we don't do the Havan because we don't have an outside place proper, um safe, not too many people around, and we also cannot do it in inside. Why? Because of Anka. So I remember very well that. So I was a bit shocked because Anka was a very nice person. She never said no, always kind, and was the first time when I saw a little bit of other face of Anka.
I think from my memory, I think she had some kind of issues with her family because
No, that's something else. We can go there. I
that's probably the one of the reasons
no
why she was not
no
comfortable,
no
no?
no no. Was her apartment. In the end, she had the last word, but not Adrian was the one who opposed. You know, she living by that time. Let you stay there, and she go to her mother villa.
Ah, yes.
Nothing to do with the Havan inside of the house. Just she doesn't feel comfortable. If I want to be a bit tough, is you have to understood the essence of that worship. if you don't get very deep into the essence of that worship, which basically it's a puja with fire, it's a worship. And the fire, yes, it's good to have a big fire. It's good to have a outside fire. The Vedic people burn whole trees there. They have 3 days Havans there, well prepared with Brahman and everything. The negativity come by themselves and throw in the fire. But in the end, if you have the symbol of the fire, if you have a candle, and if you have the desire to do the worship and the offerings, because that's an offerings, it's not a tool for us to burn negativities. It's yagna. Anyway, if you have that, you don't need to go outside and to do the proper havan. Saying that doesn't mean I don't want havan outside, but what's happened with the Norwegian people? They will be forced to not doing the havan ever. Or myself here, I have no way to do the havan here. No way. It's half a meter to my next neighbor, half a meter to the other, the street in front and the jungle behind. So I don't, all my Havans are inside. Actually, I've done one today.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Because it was also Chaturthi today, which is very important day. Anyway, so she didn't want to do the Havan. And was the first time when was a disagreement between you. You don't want it to let it her way. You insisted. And she insisted as well. In the end, because she was very stubborn, she said, no, 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 we won't do it Havan inside ever.
But that was good because we went to the mountain, which was a blessing.
Yes, yes. But that also helped to set a trend between some people who doesn't want to do Havan inside because it's not proper. You know? So, but for me, in that moment, I realized that wasn't okay, her position. I have no problem doing Havan inside. By the way, after that, we are doing a lot of Havan inside before the puja in the huge sport halls where we have the puja. And one day before the puja, we do Havan there. It was much easy for us to do that. So we have a lot of pictures with the Havan inside. Anyway, so we go to Kirli Baba for that reason too. The other reason was the Raki. Although we can do the Raki in Bucharest, but why I'm asking you these two questions? The first one I answer, but the second one, we have a controversy about the Raki. You explain me on the way to Kirli Baba the importance of the Raki. And I get it straight away. But after that, you tell us that all the girls give Raki to all the boys. And I said, no, it's not possible. I mean, that's a sacred, not is not possible, but that's a sacred connection, sacred link between two people who maybe were brothers and sisters for many lives before. We have this little controversy. I didn't say I don't want to do it, but as it's happened, Sunday, which was the day for the Raki, I have to go, so I cannot participate to the ceremony. All the people who stay there have the ceremony, but I never I feel always comfortable with these bulk ceremonies. I understand the importance of the collectivity. So in the end, all the girls are the sisters with all the boys. They have to give them Raki to, uh, let's say, officialize this connection. But on the other hand, I believe in a particular and more private connection. And I tell that story in some other talks with other Sahaja, that in the end, Anka, because she came with me to Bucharest that Sunday, give me the Raki on the train. And when I come next time to your apartment, Marie-Pierre give me another Raki, asked me to come to the meditation room because we have to be in our kind of private. And after that, Minakshi. So I have, I don't, and when I come back, you laugh on me. You don't want any Iraqi sister, and now you have your wrist full of.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, so um, let's go to Kirli Baba. Tell your story now.
All right. So just remember, when we arrived in Romania, we had no idea what we were up to. And it was a complete discovery on all levels for me. And when we were told, let's go and do a Havan in the mountain, I had no idea what we would be discovering there. So the trip to go there, I remember we took the train, and then did we take a bus or from the
Yes,
train?
yes. Do
Yeah.
you want me to show the pictures?
Yes, you can. Yes. So we went to the train station, and as usual, yes, here we go. As usual, anywhere we went, we were wearing Shrimataji's badge, and the train was late, I remember. So we started singing some bhajans on the train platform. And then people were asking, like, they were looking at us. So we started giving realization to people as well there. And it was a beautiful, then we went on the train. It was a beautiful trip. It gave us more opportunity to be together, discuss together, um, have a more knowledge of each other, discuss Shemataji, Sahaja Yoga. I don't remember how long it took, but it was quite a long trip. And um,
The whole night.
yeah, so we were right in the mountain, which was so nice. And
For the people who doesn't know, this is you here,
yes,
believe it or not.
yes,
This is Jean-Luc,
Jean-Luc,
and this is Andre,
André,
and this is Luisa,
Louisa.
and Sahaja Yogini.
Yes, I remember. All very young.
Yeah.
And so to go from Bucharest to the mountain was a big difference. The vibrations in the mountain, they were amazing. It was so good, so good. Like I could feel the Mother Earth. I could feel the power of the Mother Earth, of Sri Ganesha. That was really powerful. And very simple people. I just loved it. The same when I go to India, we went to India, we stayed with the family of a Sahaja Yogi in a village near Pune. Very traditional place. I loved it. I loved the people there. That was the same feeling in the mountain. And so we did this Havan, very simple, but very carefully prepared. We prepared it all together. And see, I started Sahaja Yoga 5 years before, but the way you organize the Havan with such devotion, such attention was perfect. Just so respectful of the mothers, of how we prepared everything simply for the Havan. And then we started offering some names and uh, asking Shemataji to be here. And it went very, very deep for me. I felt Shemataji was there for sure, definitely. Not only Shemataji, I felt there was some, I don't know. It's like some of the aspects of my chakras opened up, which never happened that way before. It's like I was discovering different aspects of Sahaja Yoga within me. So the Havan lasted for a while. It was not rushed. And when we finished the ceremony, I felt I was a different person. When we came back from the mountain, we went back to Bucharest. I was different. I was a different, it changed me forever. I cannot explain the details, but this is what I felt. It definitely changed me. It's like when Shimadaji said to us, go to Romania to help them. When we came back from Romania, we said, actually, they helped us. We must have helped them, but they helped us. Because we came back with something we didn't have before. Beautiful countryside.
Those are the pictures. I share it with Anca Minakshi preparing the Havan. Some of the landscape on the hills we climb, and some other little pictures which was very fun. Us being there. Uh,
Yes.
I'm not sure who's the guy who covered himself. Uh, this is pardon, this is Philippe,
So I think that was Jean-Luc, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks, I would think.
yeah, yeah. After the
Yes.
fingers, yeah. The uh, so
Because Jean-Luc was always making jokes, so I think it was.
yes, a very good atmosphere. And when we come back from the Havan, exactly when it's finished, start pouring, start uh, big rain. And I remember you told us that every time after a Havan start raining,
Many times, yeah.
or many times, yeah,
It's a blessing.
yes, and washing, and
Everything is a blessing.
yes,
Whether we get wet or not, it doesn't matter.
yes. People wet, wet,
Wow.
yes. Um, so Jean-Michel, it's very kind to look surprised to these pictures, but I have to tell you that he's the one who took them. And um,
You know, I took the photos, but when you called me to make these discussions recordings, I was looking for photographs and I couldn't find them. But I found the negatives, so I went to scan them and was able to send them to you. But I've not looked at these photos for a long, long time.
yes,
So, I'm discovering as you do.
You'll be surprised that when you send it to me, all of them, I have few of them, but not from my archives. In my my archives, in my computer somewhere, I have only few, very few. I don't know, three, two, three. And after that, one of the ladies, one of my sister sent it to me. I reckon Marie. More about another six, seven, maybe something like that. Not too many. And after that, you send me all. So, for example, this one is very new for me. I don't remember it by that time. So I know what's happened. You took the pictures, and after that, make some hard copies and give to few of the picture to
That's
few
right.
of the people
That's
who were there,
correct. Yes.
probably me included. And I have few of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody have few of them, and after that, we put them somehow together in the computer, scan them. But now, I mean, probably 2 weeks ago, I remember you sent me all of them scanned by you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But I couldn't find photo. I thought I did, but I couldn't find photos of Bucharest itself. I wanted to memorize what we saw in Bucharest, but I couldn't find any photos from Bucharest itself, like the city.
But do you remember taking the photos of the city?
I was like a photographer, so I was taking photos all the time. So I'm surprised I didn't.
Maybe you will find them
Maybe I'll find them somewhere.
someday.
I might have yeah, it may be a second film because this one was one film of
Aha,
about 35 photographs, all in the same packet. And so maybe I have to look for another one. Maybe I have another film somewhere.
yeah.
I
Uh,
have thousands of
al-
photos at home.
Also, you took photos from inside of the
Ah, yeah,
hall.
that was uh, that was magical. I
Yes.
will never forget that
Yeah.
program. Never ever.
For for a long period of time, this hall, which was just under 200 seats, was full like that for many months, maybe by even until the next year the hall was always full.
Wow,
And after big programs like the one in August, we have to have another hall because so many people come to follow up.
wow.
And another picture I want to show you uh, is the one very dear to me and to Delia, because here is my father-in-law, my Delia's father.
Yes,
So that is a proof that the picture is done after the 2nd of August.
yes,
The first Tuesday or the second Tuesday after, probably the first Tuesday. This is Jean-Luc, because the Sahaji try to sit apart. And this is Răzvan, Georgescu mother.
yeah, okay.
And this is Ortiz here. I try to identify few people. Um, and finally, want to show you the atmosphere after the meeting. So that was after we finish. Everybody wants more, uh, have more questions. Everybody wants to know more. No one go, very few people go home straight away. They always stay for asking questions, for more information. That was the atmosphere.
This program was the first time I was speaking in public.
Oh, okay.
First time. I
Tell
never,
us.
because in France I was involved in programs, but it was always uh, either done by another yogi presenting, and then we would help the people to feel the vibrations and things like this, Or maybe I would present Sahaja Yoga to two people at once, But I never spoke in public like this. But what happened that day is that we were so the five of us that were in the car, we decided one day to go for some shopping. So we decided to go out in the city. Excuse me. I have to go and get a glass of water
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah. You go. You go if you want. Don't
Leon is bringing me.
don't worry.
So we had to go to we went to go shopping, and then we said to each other, "Let's meet at 4 o'clock." So we had 3 hours for shopping or 4 hours, and we said, "Okay." We didn't want to go together shopping. We wanted to buy some souvenirs and things. So we separated and we said, let's meet back at the hall at 4. And then one of the yogis, I think it was Philip, was supposed to present this program because he had more experience in presenting programs. So merci. So I went back to the hall for 4 o'clock. I arrived there and I found myself there was no other yogi, French yogi with me. I was the only one back on time. So I came in the hall and I remember there were 400 people and the hall was full of these people waiting for us to start the program. So the Romanian Sahaja yogis said to me, do you want to start? And I was petrified. I had never spoken in public, so I was scared. I could not do it. So as I said, I was telling you, we need to wait a bit more because the other Sajagis will be back soon and we can wait a bit more. So I remember there was like a standing desk uh, near the stage for the person speaking. And I remember I was there and I was looking at all these people waiting for us. And I was looking at my watch waiting for the other Sahajas to come back. And I had so much fear in my in my center heart. I had so much fear. I could not speak. So I was keeping telling people, "Yeah, let's wait another 5 minutes, 10 minutes." But after 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I was looking at these people and I felt it's like the love from these people waiting. The attention was so positive and gentle, loving. It was so positive. It filled my heart. I could feel physically my heart was filling up with love. And at some point, I felt I can speak. I can do it. So I went up to the stage and I started speaking, introducing the chakras and the Kundalini, everything. And the moment I started speaking, no fear, no hesitation, the flow came through my mouth, and I said things I've never said before, maybe things I didn't even know. It just came through me like this, and I realized that Shumataji was just doing it. And then the other Sajagis arrived, I was already presenting. So I just kept going. And then since that time, I was able to speak in public in front of many, many people, no problem. The fear
Icebreaker
the fear left me completely that day.
was the icebreaker.
It's like my center heart chakra was fixed by Shumataji at that moment. Because when you do a program like we do today, but this is a recording, but imagine I was involved in radio programs and we knew we had 5,000 people listening every time live on Sunday, like a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Did this many years. But in the beginning, when you do it the first time, you know you are live and you have 5,000 people listening. It's not easy to
Yes.
be, to let your mind flow and not think.
Yeah.
So, but because of this program that we've done in Romania and the other programs I've done in France after that, this fear is not there. I could now speak in front of 1 million people, it wouldn't worry me. But in the beginning, it was difficult. And some people I know today, they cannot speak in public because of that reason.
Wow. I remember Meenakshi was reluctant to lead the meditation in Bulgaria. She was in Bulgaria with us, with other Sahaja yogis, and she also do not have too much experience, and she was shy, and she was asked to lead the meditation in a park only with few of us. I mean, maybe not few, but only with Romanian. She was so relaxed. I mean, um, you can see that she never done it, and she didn't really want it. She have to be a little bit encouraged and push a little bit to do it. So uh, we knew that some of you do not have this experience, but excuse me, really doesn't matter.
No, but that was the magic of this program for me, is that I could see Shemadaji speaking through me. That was clear.
Yeah.
That's what I experienced. It was incredible.
And do you know who are the people here? Do you remember? This is looks like Jean-Luc, but this is looks like you. And maybe was a translator there.
Yeah, I remember there was a translator next to me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. The love, this is the thing for me. When I was waiting, I really felt the love of these people. They were just waiting to receive the knowledge and the vibration, the blessings. And the love that they were emitting filled my heart. I could feel my heart get filled up with love so much that the fear left me. That's what I experienced, exactly like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it took 15 minutes or 20 minutes to fill me up. I love Romania because of this. My memory of Romania is pure, perfect,
Yeah.
definitely. When you called me, I was happy,
I'm
surprised, but happy.
so uh, yeah, I'm really I'm how should I put it? Please doesn't sound good. I'm really happy that we managed to remember all these times with all the emotions, with all the personal experience. So in the end, that is what it's important. That's why we are doing what we are doing, because the facts are the facts. We know them, the events, chronology, and everything. But how everybody live those moments uh, is the reason for our conversations.
The love of God is our motivation to exist. And what I experienced in Romania was the love of God that I could see in people. Sometimes in your own country, you don't see it easily because you are used to you have the same conditionings as people who live there. But when you go to a different country, sometimes it's easier to feel it.
Yeah.
So, and because of the separation between Eastern of Europe and Western Europe, your evolution was different from us.
Yeah.
I remember we went to Czech Republic, same also to help new yogis, and Saja Yogini told me something simple. She said, whenever I get sick of any kind of sickness, I go to the forest, I found a place to lie down on the Mother Earth, I open my arms, and I ask the Mother Earth to heal me, to cure
Wow.
me. And then I wait. And when I leave the forest, I am fine. Whether it is a flu, whether it is anything like this, the
Wow.
first thing they do, they go to the nature and ask Mother Nature to heal them. So this is a simple thing. If I talk to my grandmother, who was a farmer in north of France, she would probably tell me the same. But
Yes.
in our society nowadays, we lost all of this. We feel sick, we get some vitamins, get some vitamin C, we
Yeah.
go to the doctor, whatever.
Yeah.
So all this beautiful connection to the earth, I felt this in Romania as well when we went to the mountain. The reason why we felt so strong with the Havan, I have a feeling is because you have a very strong connection to the Mother Earth. And that's what I felt there. So it's hard to explain all of these things, but it's like invisible divine entities lived in that mountain and we met with them. That's what we felt. That's why I came back different.
Yeah.
Uh, in the invisible world, something happened.
Yeah. Um, we have two options now to explore that subject a little bit more, which is quite interesting, or to go further to our history, which looks like from your perspective quite stopped there because the next time when we meet was in Paris, uh, for Sri Mahakali
Yes.
Puja in September, invited by you, then Romanian Sahajogi. We talk about this experience many times. I won't talk again. Um, we have many sets of experience, the road, the experience until we get there, the experience there, after the puja, before the puja, with Shimataji, without Shimataji. We told that story many times, but it's something you remember about uh, that puja, that event. We've been in town with some of you, and I remember Meenakshi was one of the Sahajogi who come with us and show us Paris. After Shimataji left, we stay another week. We were very fortunate to benefit from your kindness invitation by the Parisian Sahaji, by the French Sahaji. Do you remember this puja, this event?
Yeah. Of course, I remember Mahakali Puja. I don't know what to say about it, but every puja Shamaji gave us in France or in Europe in general, but in France, that was another milestone in our evolution every time. You know, Shamaji initially, when she was coming to Paris, she was saying, Paris is the gate of hell. And then a few years later, she said, now it's the gate of heaven. So she transformed the country and she transformed Paris, you know, completely. So, and this Mahakali Puja was one of the steps taking us there. Um, what I remember from that puja is there was the day before the puja, the evening before the puja, as usual, we had this musical and dancing program with Shimataji. And there was a, a French Sahaja who was actually coming from a African country. He was scheduled to do some dancing for Shimataji. And he had his band, his African drummers band. And then he bowed down to Shimataji and he said, "Mother, I'm sorry, my band couldn't come. They couldn't make it on time for today, so I can dance, but I don't have my musicians." So Shimataji turned around and what happened on the day before this evening, I went shopping in Paris and I bought some maracas in a shop. I just came across that and I bought because I was into percussions. I had the bells, I had the tambourine, and I went to this shop and I found some maracas. So I thought, okay, I'll try this if I can use this for the bhajans. And I had this with me. And at that evening, Shambhalaji, this yogi was saying, "Mother, I don't have my musicians." You will not believe, but Shambhalaji turned around. I was sitting a few people behind Shambhalaji. She turned around and she said to me, "Come." And she said to me, "You can play." And honestly, I bought the instrument, but I never used the maracas itself. I never played before. And again, she made me play I was doing, and then he started dancing, he performed, and that was it. That was magical.
You've done your job.
Yeah, it was really spontaneous, very nice. And then the day of the puja was very powerful, for sure. I have the photo of this puja here with me. I can show it to you if you want.
Yes, please.
That's it's just here. I'll bring it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a big photograph, so I'm going to hold it a bit further.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. Yes, yes. Yeah, bend
Can you
it,
see?
much better. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yes. Wow. So, who took that photograph?
This was taken by um, a Sajogi from Switzerland called Dennis.
Uh-huh.
Dennis, he took this beautiful photograph. This is one of our favorite meditation photo.
Oh. From that puja. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Shamaji transformed the world, and yeah, that's my memory. Otherwise, I don't remember many other things. When I look at the videos of pujas, I remember things at that time. But every puja was important. It was a new milestone. Every time we experienced something new, even today, to be honest, every puja, I feel like I'm going one step deeper, one step higher. Every puja we do collectively, I feel something new. Even last night, we had a meditation last night. I felt something I've never felt before.
Really?
Yeah,
After 40, after
yeah.
40 years.
I never felt like this. So it was a regular weekly meditation
Yeah.
in Burwood, in Sydney. And we were singing
To the
some,
ashram.
yes,
Yep.
and we were singing some bhajan. So we played the talk of Shamataji Guru Puja 2004. And then we offered some bhajans. And one bhajan was S- Sahasrara Swamini. And when we were singing this bhajan, my whole attention, my whole attention went up in the Sahasrara, and I was feeling like the Sahasrara was like a um, it was like full of crystals, and Yeah. I was feeling each crystal up high in complete silence. I was just enjoying the beauty of the Sahasrara. It was like a feeling of crystals, like bright lights, and the love of Shemataji was filling that space. And I felt like this for at least, I don't know, half an hour, an hour, I don't remember, a long time, most of the time. And then after this song, I opened my eyes and I looked at other yogis, and we all felt the same. It was incredible. So I had felt my sahasrara before, but never that way. Never that way before. That was the first time. So so beautiful. So
Wow.
every time is something new. You never know what next day will be.
Wow.
The that's what Romania is beautiful, because it was in 1990, and the love that I felt when I was there, I will never forget. The love I felt last night inside myself, I will never forget.
Wow.
Whatever they do in the world, all these complications and fighting, and it has nothing to do with the reality.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. Nothing to do. The only reason why we are in Sahaja Yoga is to be one with the love of God. That's all it is about. Nothing else is important. Nothing else is important. I, you know, I just watched. I think it was this morning or yet last night in one of the talks. Shrimataji was asking. She was asking us this question. She was saying, "Do you really love everybody? Do you have everybody in your heart?" She was asking the Sahaja, do you have everybody in your heart? And this is it. This is a test. If we can answer, yes, I have everybody in my heart. I love everybody genuinely with no condition.
Yeah.
I just love everybody.
Or
That's it. If not, then we need to uh, do more foot soaking.
yeah, yeah.
Do,
More
do,
work.
yeah, do go in the nature, sit on the grass. But we have to get there. We have to feel that. We have to become one with this. Everything else is okay, but this is the most important. That's the goal. I mean, for me, that's the only thing that I'm looking for is this.
Yeah.
You know, the when we were doing radio programs, I tell you, every Sunday at I think it was starting at 9 a.m. every for 15 years, every Sunday 9 a.m. we would be a group of between 3 to sometimes 10 yogis to meeting at the radio station and presenting Sahaja Yoga, like playing a talk of Srimataji, uh, uh, inviting some yogis to, like we do now, to ask them, how did you start Sahaja Yoga, or whatever, and then do a meditation. And sometimes I even invited the Music of Joy group, the music group, in the small studio.
Yeah.
I was managing to bring in 15 people or 10 people, and we would play like this, no space, and we would play live on the radio on Sunday morning. And the thing is, after the program, we would have coffee together and then go back home. But the after the program, usually the day was bright and beautiful, and even the next day, the joy was filled up there. So that's why we kept going. we had to keep going because every time we do a program like this, it gives us so much joy and love, we cannot stop. That's what we've been doing our whole life, I guess, since the realization is to replicate that feeling of oneness with the love of God. That's all. But it expands. I feel that it expands. It's not something that you achieve and that's it. It expands like uh, uh, the universe expands all the time. It's not a fixed quantity. It expands, and our awareness expands. It develops. Every puja is different. Every meditation is different.
Yeah.
And when we give realization to people, I love doing this because this is what I like doing is to give realization because when you give realization to someone who doesn't know anything, you have to become humble again. You have to forget what you know and just do it for the people.
Yeah.
Be patient, be careful how you speak, not to say things too complicated, and listen to what is their concern, what is their condition, and how you can unlock the parts in their heart for them to relax and just welcome Shrimataji inside themselves. And when we do this, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah, that's what I like to do. I'm an architect, but when I hear my clients talking to me about money, investment, buying property, developing all the time, I witnessed myself. That was interesting. I witnessed myself talking to a builder. We were discussing construction, you know, serious things technically and all of this. But I was witnessing myself trying to connect to his spirit, to his heart. When we were talking, I was not so much concerned about the issue of the technical difficulties, which we resolved, but I was witnessing myself not concerned with this, but concerned with how I can make him relax to connect to his heart when I speak with him. And all my clients, I've witnessed myself doing this with my clients, my colleagues. That was always the motivation to communicate. Yeah. At work, I remember, so when I came to Australia, I um, I found a job in 2 weeks. Shrimataji blessed us. It was just magical. So I found a job in 2 weeks. Um, when I came to Australia, I didn't want to work in the beginning because I thought, well, I still have to improve my English. Leanne is Australian, so she will probably find a job easily, but for me, it will take time. So I was not in a rush. I thought, well, just take a bit of a holiday, relax. And then after a couple of weeks, I thought, well, I should look in the newspaper to see what's available just so that I'm prepared when I want to find a job. I look at the newspaper and there was an ad that was saying, looking for an architect for projects in Australia or overseas. And I said, oh, that would be a good job for me. If I can travel with work, it's good. So out of curiosity, I called and then I thought it was an ad from a recruitment agency. So I thought, well, it's good. They're going to give me some tips on what I should do to be prepared. So I called and I made an appointment. When I arrived there, it, it was an architectural office, and the boss saw me for the interview. So he was asking me, what have you been doing, and this and that. And I told him, look, I've been doing this kind of project. I've done some project management and whatever. And he said to me, well, that's interesting. Um, and he said, I have a project in New Caledonia, and I'm looking for a French architect. And then he said to me, can you start on Monday? So, so I got the job like this. My first, the first advertisement I look at, the first interview, I got a job within 2 weeks, arriving in Australia. So I got this, and I became very good friend with this director of this company, who was a very nice person, very Sahaj, and he's Iranian from origin. And I ended up giving him realization. And then one day I said to him, if you like, I could do some meditation session at lunch break with the staff. And he said to me, well, why not? So then I ended up giving realization to most of the office in that place. And I enjoyed these Australian people. Very, in general, I enjoy Australians. They're very supportive, open. Um, when we speak about Sahaja Yoga, they're usually receptive. They're not reacting. So, but yeah, I enjoyed a lot my relationship with people here. That's my motivation.
Um, Not many people manage to make Daniel speechless. You you succeed. Um, our conversation goes very.
Just Mataji.
I make you laugh. At least I make you laugh. If I have no other smart comments, at least I make you laughing. Uh,
Uh,
at some stage, I was tempted to stop the recording and start again with the new topics, but probably I will do the cutting. Uh, but I will keep that part. So, with your approval, we can go further on the direction we open now, because I believe we finish with the memories from Romania.
no,
I
I have one. I can add one more thing. If it
Please,
is
please,
if it is
yes, sorry.
interesting, I don't know if it will be interesting to people, but there is one thing that I remember that was very interesting. I was talking about the difference between the West and the East of Europe at that time. So in 1990, in France, in many parts of France, especially, we knew that there was some conflict of vibrations. Like Catholic Church has been a big impact in France. And the problem with Catholic Church is that it turned Christianity into a dogma where people feel guilty and this and that without the realization. I was raised in a Catholic school, um, you know. Anyway, we knew that in France we had sometimes issue with the Agia, and it was in relation to the country, to the context. What happened when we went to Romania? So we enjoyed in Romania, really, it relaxed us completely. We were full of vibrations, and then we drive back to France. So we drive back through Austria, Hungary, Austria, Germany, and then the moment we cross the border, the moment, the physical border, we drive through to France, honestly, I feel like someone put a helmet on me. I
Wow.
feel pressure in my head. And then we all felt like this. The five in the car, we felt like this. And then we realized, that the challenge in the West of as yogis to live in that environment where the negativity is putting so much pressure on us. We felt it physically.
Wow.
That was something I didn't forget as well because it was very significant. And then I have to say that France come a long way. You know, I've been back to France since I moved to Australia, and I feel much lighter in France than it was before. So I know Shumadaji has and the side yogis have worked
Working.
hard to to change the place, and
Improve that. Yes.
Shumadaji has done a tremendous work. But at that time, that's what we felt. It was just to give you a feeling of how hard it was to be a side yogi at that time was to to try and meditate every day and go out of that
Yep.
pressure. That was the challenge.
Um, on that note, I changed my mind. We will stop this recording and start another one with these topics, which I wanted to to talk about a bit early. When you start saying more general things, not exactly the things about Romanian history in Sahaja Yoga, but doesn't really matter. You raise few interesting subjects, and if you believe that we are finishing with experience in Romania and related one, we can uh, go further on this new direction, which I love it, and we can still talking in the next episode. You agree with that? And we will make our viewers curious. The next episode will be straight away, but for the technical reason, we will stop the recording now. To make our viewers curious, we will still continue on that subject of the difference between East and West, the difference between the spirituality, vibration, us as human beings, raise a lot of interesting subject and points of view. I believe I have something to do, like usual, to said about that. Uh, so will be an interesting topics, and for our viewers, if they want to watch us, they have to go for the next episode, which will be on the next channel because have nothing to do with the Romanian
Romania, yeah.
history, the Sahaja Yoga in Romania. So thank you very much, Jean-Michel, for everything you told us, for opening to us and tell us your experience. Thank you for everything you've done for us as Sahaja Yogi as well. And thank you, the viewers, to have enough patience with us. If you don't like it, I know you stop it after 10 minutes and you look later. So, Jai Shri Mataji, goodbye for the moment.